Hey guys, Kat Kerr, and today we're talking about my favorite must-have go-to products that I pick up almost every single time I go to Art Journal. Now, I'll admit it was really hard to narrow down this list. My initial list, I had like 50 items on there, and I kind of condensed it just a little bit to give you some ideas if you are new to art journaling, some of the items that you should have, at least that I use on a regular basis. Now, I do want to say that none of the companies have paid me to promote their products, even though I have received quite a few of the products for free. But I have used affiliate links in the description below if you choose to purchase the product. Now let's go ahead and get started. So my number one must-have is a 6x6 black disc-bound journal by Joggles. Now, I'll admit I've tried art journaling before, and it's never really stuck until I got my hands on this disc-bound journal. The one that you're looking at right now has a combination of all of the 3 pages that are offered by Joggles. You can get these journals in a white heavy-duty watercolor paper, you can get it in a Yeppo paper, and you can also get them in a black really heavy-duty cardstock. And so this journal has all of those pages combined, but they are sold individually. Now, if I had to pick just one of the 3 types of paper, I would pick the black. It's definitely my favorite. I feel like when you're working on a black surface, it takes fewer steps to get texture and dimension going, and I just love working on the black. Now you can add a color to your pages by using acrylic paint, watercolor, oil if you wanted to. You can even use art sprays and art crayons. Sky's the limit when it comes to adding color to your journal pages. So my number 2 must-have for art journaling is a color combination that works for you. This is my color combination, and I return to it time and time again. Now, it doesn't mean that I don't try new color combinations. It just means that I have this color combination that works for me. I love it, and sometimes it takes me out of a bind. So if I can't come up with a background, I just immediately, go to these colors and start playing, and they always work. So these 3 colors are, 2 of them are Deco Arts Multi-Surface Paint, Coastal Waters, and Chartreuse, as well as a Deco Art Media Fluid in Primary Magenta. And I love this combination. Now, number 3 on my must-have is going to be the 6x6 gel press mono printing plate. Now, even though I love all of the sizes, I tend to gravitate towards the 6x6 because I'm always working in my 6x6 journal. It's just so fast when it comes to making backgrounds. Paint, texture, paper, pull, done. I mean, easy peasy lemon squeezy. And not only that, I tend to use my 6x6 mono printing plate as a palette. I feel like there's less waste when I use it as a palette. Number 4 must-have is Black Gesso by Marabu. Now, I don't use this all the time, but it is the brand that I reach for when it comes to black gesso because it covers beautifully, and it's very creamy, which I like. Some gessos are a little thicker. This one is just the perfect consistency for me. Number 5 on the must-have list is Carbon Black and Titanium White Deco Art Media Fluid. I finish every page with either splatters of black or white, sometimes both, and it's a great way to unify the page. Number 6 must-have is Staz On Pigment Ink. Now this is a new find for me, even though I've always liked Staz On ink pads, but this one is especially cool because you can also use it on slick surfaces like the Yupo journal pages that you can also get with this discbound journal. And so I love that, and here I am just testing it out with some water so that you can see it doesn't move around on you, and it's perfect to use under paints. Now number 7 is Marabu's Gold Art Spray. Now even though I love all of the colors, this is the color that I use more than anything. I add it to almost every page. I love spraying it or just removing the nozzle and tapping the nozzle just to get a little bit of the gold shine. Number 8's must-have is the black Stabilo pencil. Now I do use this a lot. It's great for making your focal stand out by giving it a little bit of shadow, and so you just kind of draw around your focal and then you wet it with some water, and you can do the same thing with the edges of your pages instead of using an ink pad. It's just great for adding shadow and also giving it an aged look. I finish almost every page with a white pen, and my favorite is a white water-based Sharpie. It works perfectly over any paint, and it's super opaque. My number 10 must-have waterproof fine tip marker is actually 2 of them, and they're both by Sakura, the Microperm pen as well as the Identa pen. And these both work great under paint, acrylic paint, watercolor paint, whatever. It doesn't move around on you, which is perfect when it comes to art journaling. Here I'm testing them out on this journal page, and I'll add some alcohol marker to see if they move around, and they don't. My number 11 must-have is cheap brushes. I use a lot of different things to apply paint, like a foam brush, a palette knife, an old credit card, a cosmetic foam sponge, but my number one thing is brushes, and I don't want to spend a lot of money on them because I'm very aggressive when it comes to applying paint, and so my brushes get damaged really easily. So if you like applying paint to your journal pages, I would say don't spend a lot of money on them because, you know, if you're aggressive like I am, then you're going to go through them quite a bit. Number 12 is a biggie: texture, texture, texture. And of course, some of my favorite textures: stencils and foam stamps. I'm bundling all of these items together in one category because they're all for texture, and I also keep a box full of different types of textures that I use on a regular basis. Of course, creative art textures by Joggles, a lot of household items. I have some rubber mats, silicone pieces, these sander attachments, and they all work great for texture, as well as using them on my gel press mono printing plate, and it just adds so much dimension to your pages. Here I am using a creative art texture on my mono printing plate. Again, paint, texture, pull, done. Easy peasy. Now, even though I tried to keep this list to 12, I had to include adhesive. Now, I normally use 3 different types of adhesive. I use this liquid glue by Tombow for paper, And I especially use just regular glue sticks. It doesn't really matter what kind. I don't spend the extra money on the good ones. I just use any glue stick. And I love this double tack dry adhesive sheet by Graphics because you don't have to wait for it to dry. You can cut it down to any size, peel off the protective layers and attach your paper, and you're done. So number 13's must-have adhesive. Okay, so that's it for my must-have products for art journaling. These are, without a doubt, the products that I use the most when it comes to art journaling. So if you're new to it, I hope that they gave you some ideas. If you learned something new and want to support my channel, buy me a cup of coffee on Ko-fi. Thanks for watching.